Our story begins with Louis, a brilliant 12-year-old inventor living in an orphanage. This kid's mind is a scientific powerhouse, always buzzing, always creating. Unfortunately, his constant tinkering and late-night inventing have his roommate totally fed up, practically begging for some sleep. Louis's biggest struggle, though, is adoption. Families come to meet him, but after a short time, they always decide not to take him. It's devastating. "What is it about me?" he asks his caregiver, his voice heavy with worry. "Why doesn't anyone want to adopt me? I'll be 13 next year." No one wants a teenager. "Maybe it's because I was aggressive towards my mother, but who could abandon their child like that?" He retreats to his room, pulling out his notebook to sketch. He often tells his friend that he has this hazy, half-formed image of his mother from when he was an infant. That tiny flicker of memory is his driving force. He decides to build a memory retrieval device, something that can pull that image out of his subconscious so he can finally see her face clearly. His entire mission becomes one of finding her and asking the simple, painful question, "Why did you leave me here?" Louis takes his incredible machine to the school science fair. While he's there, a curious young man suddenly appears. He looks about 13 too, and introduces himself as Robinson's. He pulls Louis aside and gives him a strange warning. "A tall man wearing a black bowler hat is after you. He has a time machine, and he's amazed you built your memory device at such a young age. You have to be careful of him." Just as Robinson's is leaving, a boy nearby trips, sending a box of frogs tumbling everywhere. We then see the mysterious tall man. He takes off his hat, and it's no ordinary headwear. It's a mechanical, robotic hat that sprouts spider-like legs. The hat secretly slips over and makes some crucial, damaging changes to Louis's machine. When it's Louis's turn to present, he proudly activates his device, but it completely malfunctions. It was the work of that cunning hat. The device fails spectacularly as the robotic hat makes its escape. Robinson spots it and realizes the tall man must be driven by jealousy. The chaos continues as another boy's volcano project erupts, spraying water everywhere and ruining the entire fair. Louis, heartbroken and furious, bolts out of the building. Unseen, the tall man swoops in, steals the now damaged memory machine, and vanishes. Louis is sitting somewhere, tearing angrily at his notebook, utterly defeated. That's when Robinson shows up. "You can't lose hope like this," he urges. "You built an amazing invention, so amazing that the tall man stole it. He also stole a time machine to get here, but he's useless with it. We're going to beat him," Louis scoffs, not believing a word. "Prove it," he challenges. "Prove you're from the future." In a flash, Robinson shoves him, and suddenly, they're both inside a real-time machine. Robinson takes Louis to the year 2037. Louis is in awe. He's utterly convinced now that Robinson is telling the truth and is indeed a police officer from the future. Louis, with his mission still in mind, tries to pilot the time machine to find his mother in the past, but the machine is damaged and crashes. Robinson's, livid, yells, "Now you have to repair it." Louis agrees, but makes a deal. "I'll try to fix it, but afterward, you have to help me meet my mother." Robinson's reluctantly agrees. Meanwhile, the tall man has arrived in the future with Louis's stolen machine, but he can't make it work because he doesn't know how Louis built it. He's humiliated when he's kicked out of the demonstration. He decides he needs to find Louis and force him to explain the device. Back in 2037, Robinson and Louis find themselves wandering. Louis stumbles into a garden via a hidden tunnel and meets an eccentric old man who immediately asks, "Did you see my teeth, son?" Louis is confused, wanting only to get back to Robinson's. The old man leads him out through a toilet. Robinson finds Louis and drags him away angrily. At the same time, the tall man is interrogating Louis's roommate, who reveals Louis is at the science fair. The robotic hat, however, tells the tall man Louis is in the future. The tall man uses his stolen time machine and quickly tracks Louis to the Robinsons' home via a screen. Louis is having dinner with Robinson's incredibly unusual but loving family, served by robots. When a robot malfunctions, Robinson's, trying to impress, blurts out, "Louis is a great technician, he can fix anything." Louis is hesitant, but he tries, and the robot starts acting even weirder. Instead of being mad, the Robinsons are wonderfully supportive. "You can do good. You will do it." Louis is deeply touched. He tells Robinson's mother, "You are all so nice. I wish I could have a family, and it would be just like yours." Robinsons explains that Lewis is an orphan, and she feels immediate compassion. Suddenly, a massive, unexpected dinosaur appears, controlled by the robotic hat, which has been cutting a lantern above Lewis's head. The dinosaur chases Lewis. Robinsons bravely saves him. During the chaos, the hat is knocked off, and the dinosaur, being from the past, instantly dies. Robinson's family rushes to hug him, showering him with love. Lewis watches this, whispering, "Mother." Robinson's mother embraces him too, sweetly declaring, "From now on, you are my son too. I am adopting you." Lewis is elated, but his joy is short-lived. When Robinson's family realizes he's not from their present but from the past, they are shocked. "He's different," they whisper. Robinson's mother regretfully tells him, "Son, it's better for you to go back to your own time. You can't stay with us." Lewis is devastated. "But why? Robinson's promised to take me to my mother." Robinsons finally snaps, "I only said that. How can I possibly help you find your mother?" Lewis, crushed, runs away crying. At a secluded spot, the tall man finds a heartbroken Lewis and offers a deceptive lifeline. "I can make you meet your mother." In his despair, Lewis agrees and gets into the time machine with the tall man just before Robinsons arrives to stop him. The tall man takes Lewis to a dark, hidden place. He forces Lewis to repair the time machine, then ties him up with ropes. "Where have you brought me?" Lewis demands. The tall man turns on the lights. "See, this is our room," he sneers. "What do you mean, our?" The tall man reveals his identity. "I am your roommate. I came from the future. Your non-stop inventing kept me awake and focused. Because of you, I missed a crucial catch in a baseball game. My bad record meant no one adopted me. Eventually, the orphanage closed, and I was left alone. This is all your fault, Lewis. This is why I have chased you. Now that I have you, I can relax." He holds up the robotic hat. "Do you remember this hat? You created it. You deemed it too dangerous and were going to shut it down. I found it, and we decided we would get our revenge on you. Now you're under my control, and I have everything I need." Just then, Robinsons bursts in with a huge robot and frees Lewis. The tall man orders his robotic army to destroy them. As they plot how to get the time machine back, a blinding, sharp wave of light pulls Robinsons away. Lewis realizes the tall man has created a plethora of robotic hats which have spread across the city and are now controlling all the humans. Lewis knows he can't wait. He quickly repairs the time machine and confronts the tall man. He tries to reason with him. "This hat is nobody's friend. You are making a mistake. When its task is done, it will control you too." As if on cue, the hat turns on the tall man, sprouting blades and moving to attack Lewis. Lewis fights back and manages to destroy the controlling hat. Lewis rushes to find Robinsons, bringing the tall man with him. Seeing the tall man, Robinsons attacks him immediately. Even as the tall man calls out to him, Robinsons is filled with rage. Lewis stops the fight, but the tall man uses the distraction to escape, leaving behind a book. From a distance, the tall man, filled with regret, watches them. He weeps, realizing his path of revenge was wrong. He was sad because he was never adopted, but it didn't justify his actions. Robinson's family is overjoyed to see their son safe. They show Lewis their inventions. Finally, Robinsons tells Lewis, "It's time to keep my promise. Come, let's look for your parents." Robinsons drops Lewis into the past. Lewis watches as his young mother, her face covered, holds him, a newborn Lewis, in her arms, about to leave him outside the orphanage. Lewis takes a step toward her but stops. He realizes he doesn't need to ask her why. He returns to the time machine and tells Robinsons, "I have my family now." He hugs Robinsons tightly. He decides he will go back and make everything right in the past and the future. Robinsons takes Lewis back to the day before. The next day is the crucial baseball match his old roommate was talking about. Lewis rushes to wake him up, making sure he gets enough sleep so he doesn't miss that vital catch. The roommate wins the game. Everyone cheers for him, and soon after, he's adopted. He won't become the bitter tall man of the future. The movie concludes on a high note. Lewis, too, is adopted by a loving family, the Robinsons. They give him a huge room for his inventions. Lewis is thrilled happy, knowing he fixed not only his own future, but his friends as well. It's a beautiful ending. I hope this more conversational version was engaging for you.